Today, we are diving into a really powerful feature in Amazon Bedrock. It's designed to solve one of the biggest challenges you face when your AI app gets popular. How do you scale it without hitting a performance wall? Well, that's where provisioned throughput comes in. So picture this. You've built an incredible generative AI application. It's a huge hit, traffic is through the roof, and then bam, you start getting throttling errors. Performance gets all unpredictable, and your users, they're starting to get frustrated. Sound familiar? Yeah, it's a super common growing pain for successful AI services.
And that's exactly the problem this is built to solve. Because when your application is mission critical, you just can't leave performance up to chance, right? You need it to be consistent, reliable, predictable. This is all about getting you out of that chaos of variable performance and into the calm of guaranteed speed. So the whole idea is actually a pretty simple but powerful trade-off. You get guaranteed speed for your AI models, and you get it at a fixed, predictable price. To really get why this is a big deal, let's put it side by side with the standard on-demand model.
Okay, this slide really lays it all out. With the standard on-demand way, you pay for every token you use, but your performance can kind of bounce around depending on how busy the system is. Provisioned throughput just flips that script entirely. You pay a fixed cost, and in return, you get a guaranteed, reserved amount of processing power. You know, it's like the difference between trying to hail a cab during rush hour versus having your own private car waiting for you 24/7.
So, to put it simply, provisioned throughput lets you buy your very own dedicated slice of AI power. And this works for the big, powerful base models from folks like Anthropic and Meta, and it works for your own fine-tuned custom models. You're basically reserving your own private lane on the highway, making sure your app always has the juice it needs to run smoothly.
All right, so how do you actually buy this guaranteed performance? It's not just a simple on-off switch. It's measured in these specific units. You've got different commitment options you can choose from. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. The currency of performance here is what's called a model unit, or MU for short. Just think of one model unit as a standard block of processing power. So when you buy 1 or 5 or 10 MUs, you're buying a very specific, guaranteed level of performance for whatever model you've picked out. So what does that guarantee actually mean in the real world? Well, it's super specific. For each model unit you buy, you're promised a total number of input tokens it can handle every minute and a total number of output tokens it can generate every minute. This gives you a really clear, measurable benchmark for your application's performance. No guesswork. Now, when you go to purchase these model units, you have different ways to commit. And listen up, because there's a really key difference here you need to know. For the standard base models, you commit for either 1 month or 6 months. But for your custom models, you get this extra, incredibly flexible option, a no-commitment pay-by-the-hour model, which is just perfect for testing things out or for short-term projects. And here's how those tiers break down. That no-commitment option gives you the most flexibility, since you're just billed by the hour. But if you know you're going to need that capacity for a while, the 1 month and especially the 6-month commitments get you some pretty significant discounts. It's that classic trade-off, right? Commit for longer, and you're going to get the best price.
Okay, so you get the how. Now for the fun part, the what. What models can you actually use with provisioned throughput? And let me tell you, the selection is pretty awesome. You get access to this powerful lineup of models from the biggest names in AI. So whether you're a fan of Amazon's Titan family, Anthropic's Claude models, Cohere's stuff, or Meta's Llama, you can lock in that guaranteed throughput for them. When you're looking at the documentation, you're going to see a table that looks something like this, and it's really simple to read. You've got the model name, then the AWS regions where provisioned throughput is available for it, and this is the important one. That last column tells you if that super flexible, no commitment option is supported for that specific base model. As you can see, it really varies from model to model. And here is a critical pro tip for anyone who's going to be working with the API. You can't just use the regular model ID you're used to. You have to use the specific model ID for provisioned throughput that's listed in the docs. Trust me, it's a small detail, but remembering it will save you a lot of headaches. So you've done it. You've made your purchase. Let's quickly walk through what happens next. The good news is managing your provisioned throughput is designed to be really, really straightforward. It's a pretty simple life cycle. When you first buy it, it goes into a creating state. Once it's in service, you're good to go. You can start hitting it. Now, the really cool part here is step 3, update. If you need to change something, maybe add more units, you can do it without disrupting your traffic. Your app just keeps running on the old setup until the new one is 100% ready. And then deletion is immediate. It's really slick.
This quote from the docs really gets to the heart of the whole thing. The system delivers exactly what you paid for. If your application's traffic spikes and you try to send more requests than your purchased model units can handle, those extra requests, they'll get throttled. This is all about predictability, not infinite capacity. So it's really key to make sure you provision for your expected peak traffic.
Just a couple of quick housekeeping items before you dive in. First, you need to make sure you have access to the base model before you can purchase provisioned throughput for it. Makes sense? And second, if you're working with your own custom model and it's encrypted, just make sure your role has the right permissions to decrypt it.
So what's the big picture here? What's the main takeaway? It's really about taking back control. Provisioned throughput gives you that predictable performance, predictable costs, and the kind of rock-solid reliability you absolutely need for any user-facing mission-critical AI application. It's basically how you graduate from just experimenting with AI to running a professional, scalable service. And that really just leaves us with one final question to think about for your own projects. For the user experience you're trying to build, for the promises you're making to your customers, is guaranteed AI performance just a nice-to-have, or is it an absolute necessity?